Have you ever wondered how much significance does a document that you carry have? Or have you ever wondered if the document you carry represents you as a person? So I started asking myself these questions around a year ago when I was having a deep conversation with one of my best friends here at Atlantic College. And she confessed to me that she really did not like me the first time she saw me. Her first impression of me was when we first met at Heathrow Airport, and she thought I was the betraying Arab that came from Tel Aviv Airport and forgot all about her identity. It's funny, because when she said that, I started laughing. That same friend had no idea of the 2-hour-long, randomly selected security checkup I went through before coming here, and I go through every single time I travel through an Israeli airport. This confession was the motivating factor for me to stand up in front of you here today and talk about my identity. So hi everyone, my name is Reni Mehresh and I am an Arab 48 Palestinian. So for those of you who don't know, Arab 48 refers to the people who did not leave their land in 1948 or left it but somehow managed to come back when Israel declared its independence, leading to war. The displacements of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes referred to the Palestinian community as the Nakba, which translates in English to catastrophe, leading to the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine. Arab 48 Palestinians are internationally known as Israeli Arabs, as this is the term used to describe them in media and in academic research. So during the Nakba, my family was separated. Most of my family sought refuge in neighboring countries such as Lebanon and Jordan. But after Israel declared its independence, most of them had to make the difficult decision of going back to their homeland in Palestine, specifically in Nazareth, knowing that if they did not obtain the documents that Israel was issuing, they might lose the chance to ever return, and they preferred returning to their homeland rather than remaining refugees indefinitely. So my great-grandparents' father's side remained in refugee camps in Lebanon and Jordan, and we have lost contact with them over time. While my other side of the family, my great-grandparents on my mother's side, remained in Palestine during the war, and they had to hide in caves when a military raid was ongoing in the city. They survived the war and became Israeli citizens, as this was their only choice. So as a fourth generation of the Nakba, I myself carry the Israeli passport and citizenship while navigating the complexities and challenges of my Palestinian identity that I struggle to practice. I always had a really strong identity. I feel it's part of being born to a Palestinian family. You grow up learning to love your nation, love your community, and fight for your right no matter what the cost will be. I didn't really have a choice. This was imposed on me, and I never thought that coming to AC would challenge me in presenting my identity. I've always tried avoiding talking about this topic, not because I'm embarrassed of it, but because I felt no matter how I'll explain it, people can always misinterpret it or misunderstand it, and I was really scared to be misunderstood in this particular aspect. Growing up in my community back home, or you can call it my bubble back home, I was surrounded with people with a really similar background to mine, and I've never felt weird about my identity. I never felt different, but suddenly after coming to Atlantic College, I started struggling expressing who I am. Coming to AC has changed me a lot in my Arab 48 identity. It's made me realize the importance of it and how little it's been spoken about. The first thing that people think about when they hear a Palestinian with an Israeli passport, with an Israeli citizenship, is the passport. When I tried explaining to my friends about my complex identity, I used to get responses that shocked me. And my favorite one would always be, "Shut up, at least you can travel to many countries around the world without needing a visa." Well, I get startled by these responses because I know that carrying an Israeli citizenship does not only mean traveling to many places without requiring a visa or having the right to vote. It also means following the rules that are forced against you, or being banned from raising your own flag in your own hometown, and following an educational system that teaches you the history and narrative that is against what you grew up to believe. I have once had a person come up to me and tell me that people told them to approach me with any question they have about the Palestinian-Israeli topic because I'm the most neutral among Palestinian students on campus. I laughed, started asking myself, why would a person think I'm neutral on the topic that I have strong opinions on and I have been struggling with since the day I was born? I started convincing myself that maybe this person meant to say mature, not neutral, because I say my opinions honestly and respectfully, learning to disagree with people. This reminded me of the famous quote for an England-based street artist and political activist, Banksy, when he once said, "If we wash our hands off the conflict between the powerful and the powerless, we side with the powerful. We do not remain neutral. So there is no way for me to be neutral." Then I came to a conclusion that if I did not carry the documents I carry, and if I did not have an Israeli citizenship, then the chances of people thinking I'm neutral would have been much lower. And here, once again, the documents were the determining factor of people's perception of me and not my own personality. Me carrying Israeli documents does not make me less Palestinian in any way or form. Palestinians is not being a Palestinian living in the West Bank or being a Palestinian refugee. Most of the world does not even know about the Arab 48 community or the people of East Jerusalem or even the Gaza Strip. Being a Palestinian means not having a defined home, as home is everywhere, as I feel everywhere is occupied. Now I want to talk about another part of being part of the Arab 48 community, which is speaking in Hebrew. So an incident happened a couple of months ago where a person heard me speaking in Hebrew for the first time, and the judgmental look I received from this person was the spark of me mentioning it here in front of you today. Their look made me feel as if they were telling me, "See, you speak Hebrew, so why do you keep shouting out for Palestinians' rights? Aren't you technically Israeli, proven by the fact that you speak Hebrew and also carry an Israeli citizenship?" So let me ask you all a question. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word occupation? I'm assuming it's the military aspect, but have you ever thought about the effects of occupation on culture and education? The documents I carry are slowly trying to strip me of my cultural identity. I'm not allowed to practice my cultural and national celebrations in the place I call home. My language is no longer an official language in my own country. My flag is no longer allowed to be raised in my own town. I feel that many are trying to gradually erase my existence. Back to the question of why do Palestinians speak in Hebrew? So basically all the Arab 48 Palestinians are taught Hebrew in schools as part of the Israeli educational system. They did not choose to learn this language, but eventually growing up, they realized the importance of knowing to speak the language when you live under Israeli control. Since whenever you go to a hospital or need any medical care, you need to communicate in Hebrew. Or whenever you need to do any basic shoppings, you also need to communicate in Hebrew. Or imagine having to sign up a document that the government provides only in Hebrew and you do not know what you're signing up on. AC has made me realize the importance and complexity of being an Arab 48 Palestinian. It means having to deal with the contradiction of being a Palestinian, struggling for national self-determination, while on official documents having a national Israeli identity. It means having to deal with the fact that the world either does not know you exist, or if it does, it views you as part of the Israeli society. It also means the pressure to assimilate into Israeli society while also maintaining the Palestinian culture and heritage. It hurts me every single time I walk in my city in Jerusalem and I hear Arabic on the right and Hebrew on the left. It hurts me every single time I see the same place with a different name. Suddenly, Safuria is Tzipori, El Sijra is Eliana, and Ras Al Ahmar is Kerem Ben Zimra. I live in a country while Israelis are celebrating their Independence Day, Palestinians on the other side of the road are commemorating the Nakba on the same day. These are the contradictions that I and other Arab 48 part of the community are living on a daily basis. In many cases, I felt like I needed to prove or to convince people that I'm a Palestinian, only because I carry documents that state otherwise. The documents I carry do not say anything about my history. They just benefit those who may want to erase my identity. People always ask me, do you actually still have hope for your nation, even after 75 years? My response has always been yes, without hesitation. And I want to explain that by a quote for the famous poet Mahmoud Darwish, when he once said, "We," referring to Palestinians, "suffer from an incurable malady called hope. An incurable malady refers to a disease that you can never be healed from, and we Palestinians are suffering from never losing hope." I want you all to think about the day after tomorrow, and hope for a world where each individual has the right to prove who they are with their identity without having to prove to people their identity because of the documents that state otherwise. The future is yours, and you should not allow anyone to dictate your identity. You are the only one who decides what they identify with, not a piece of paper and not what the outside world tells you. Yes, you have the right to say no, as I did. I refused and will continue to refuse to be identified based on my official documents. So a question that is usually asked, do you know who you are before the world tells you who you are? So today I'm going to ask you a different question. Do you know who you are despite of what the world has told you of who you are? Thank you.